What's up, beautiful people? It's your boy Ramon. We're talking Forza 5, Xbox One. Yeah. So happy New Year's, first of all. Welcome to 2014. Hope it's been a good few days in the new year for you guys. And before we get going, I just want to let you know that this is a short review. I'm going to have the longer review, which is about 40 minutes long, more in depth, a lot more in depth actually. That's over on the Ignorant Gamerz channel. You'll find a link to that in the description below, or you'll see the annotation if you're actually watching on YouTube. So yeah, let's dig in. So what is Forza 5? Microsoft's long-running car simulation series, and I was actually pretty shocked that they chose this. Well, the Turn 10 team who developed it stepped up to be a launch title for the Xbox One. So there's some good and bad coming out of that. But I guess we'll start with the graphics. Man, this game is beautiful. It's a really good showcase for the Xbox One and the power that it has. Right off the bat, you can see where your $500 is validated when you play Forza 5. It's running at full 1080p and running at 60 frames a second. I mean, this is something that you won't notice watching the video that you're looking at right now. This is something you have to see in person. This game is buttery smooth. Kudos to them for pulling that off, because I know there's a bunch of other titles out there who haven't been able to get the full 1080p experience, and even so, you know, some of them may not run at 60 frames a second, or they may run at 900p resolution and 60 frames. It's a mess right now, but Forza's got the full gamut. Good job on that, and what a better game to show that off than Forza. You know, the sense of speed is crazy in this game. You're doing 80 miles an hour. It feels like you're going pretty damn fast. And because of that, some of the lower classes are still fun to play. So yeah, I'm digging the graphics. I'm digging the frame rate. I never thought frame rate would be such a big deal. But you can tell I don't do much PC gaming, right? The PC guys are probably chuckling right now. The cars are very detailed, very beautiful. There is an insane amount of detail that's given to each car in this game. Especially when you talk about the Forza Vista mode, where you can get the history on a car and you can sort of just go around the car and look at every integral detail, both inside and out. You know, that's mind-numbing sometimes, or I should say mind-blowing. It's really nice to see that. It's something I didn't expect, especially because the Forza Vista mode was in Forza 4, but it was only for specific cars. Now it's every car in the game, so it's a real treat to get to see every car with that granular detail. I really appreciate that. The sound in the game is awesome. You've got your environmental sounds. You can really tell when cars are tuned right based on how the tires are fighting for grip, or if they just, you know, wild out losing grip. These things you can tell by listening to the car. You can tell when certain cars got cams and certain cars don't. You can, you know, turbo system sounds different in every car, and exhaust work sounds different. It's just it's a treat. And even so, cars tend to sound different when you're racing on the inside versus on the outside, or if you're watching the front view and then you switch to the back, you hear the exhaust note. And man, the sound in this game is pretty awesome. think Grid 2 may still sound a a bit better, because grid you could hear things like the suspension creaking when you hit apex, the bump strips and whatnot. But other than that, Forza's right up there, and I think it's definitely a close running for number 2 in the sound department in terms of racing games. The physics, top notch. I've never had a problem with physics, and this is a great discussion to have among simulator fans, because ultimately the complete 100% realism still goes to Gran Turismo, but Forza is really close, and it does it with style. So it's always been a good compromise for me to make. I've never complained about the physics in Forza. They've been getting a lot better. The handling, the steering, everything, just right down to the braking, it just feels like a much better, more refined physics engine. One of the things that's missing, we want to talk engine, is noticeably nighttime racing and weather. And I think the complexity of the engine in Forza, the gaming engine, really played a big part to that. And I think that was, the developers spoke outright about that and the challenges they were having. So a little disappointed that we can't get some nighttime racing in the snow. But we'll take it. The gameplay itself, one of the things that I really enjoy, the new rumble triggers. They're not officially called the rumble triggers, but you get the idea. That really changed my game, and it really improved a lot of my lap times coming over from Forza 4. When you start to break traction, the accelerator it'll give you that feedback, and it's a good meter to let you know, oh, whoa, slow down here, get off of that, ease it up. And even when you're braking and you lock up, you get that feedback. So right now, with a ton of hours in the game, I don't lock up. I don't race with ABS, and I don't lock up the brakes. And if I do, I get aggressive. I always get that little feedback to let me know that I'm really pushing it and when to lay off a little bit. So I enjoy that. The gameplay in terms of the career mode, the single player, just in and out of the races, the presentation, that's all fine. I really love the Top Gear influence all over the place. Well, when you're doing your career, as you go into different series, you get Jeremy Clarkson and the other guy from Top Gear. They do their, I don't know, what do you call it, creative rambling that we all enjoy as gearheads. It's just a great experience. You get 200 cars that some people think were not enough. I'm on the fence here. I could always use more cars, but I don't think we need the extreme like Gran Turismo with 1200. But we could definitely use some more cars. And on the other hand, I think it's what we have now is fine for now, because the amount of work and tuning that you can do with each car goes a really long way. And you got the different tiers, the different classes you can take these cars into, different events and challenges and rivals. Like, there's so much to do with a car that I don't see this being a problem yet. I want to see by the end of the year in 2014 we should be at about I hope 300. That would be nice, but it is what it is. They got a lot of car packs coming, so we'll see where that takes us. In terms of the actual races, like I mentioned, there's all types of challenges to do online outside of your career mode. And there's you've got the regular online lobbies, which are now, you can now separate by class, which is dope, because I'm an A-class guy and I just go into A-class lobbies. I don't care about any other class. And there's people like me out there represented in every other class. So it's good that you can just hop in a targeted lobby. There's the monthly challenges that they do, which are really cool. Certain cars, certain tracks, and all of this stuff. And then there's the rivalries you can do. There's a ton of stuff online for you to do. But I think the number one feature in Forza 5 was what was the biggest joke when it was announced, and that was the driver tars. So sure, Microsoft used it as a poster to really get the cloud out there and make emphasis that the cloud is very real for the next generation platform. So pretty much what a drivatar is it's your representation of you in someone else's game. So everything you do in the game, your drivatar is recorded. You know, how you drive, how you overtake, how you pass, how you drive certain sections of tracks, and it's constantly learning about you. Now when your friend loads up his career, he doesn't see computer drivers. He sees representations of his friends and people on the leaderboards that's relatively close to him. And it's really interesting to see these drivatars work. They don't exactly drive like conventional AI drivers. So each one's quirky, meaning it mirrors a certain driving personality. And when you wrap your head around that concept, it's so dope, because no driver should ever be the same in the game again. And it really works. Like, I've seen them battling out each other. I've seen them come out of corners 4 wide. It's just tough. And if you get caught in the pack and drivatars, my God, it's hard to get out. And I will say, if you put the difficulty on unbeatable with drivatars, it's a challenge. It is, even for a veteran Forza player, it's a challenge. So I'm happy about the drivatar thing, and I thought that was a very unsuspecting feature, and it's awesome to see it here. Socially, you know, Forza as a series always had a lot to offer, but there's some things missing here. So the online races and all of that, and the competitive spirit, that's all still here. What really is the problem is you no longer have the ability to gift cars, tunes, and paint jobs. And this was huge in Forza 4, because I would tune cars for people all the time. And, you know, you tune a car and you say, yo, can you drive this? Let me know how this feels. And then they send it back. And there's none of that anymore. Now, on the other side of that, there's a lot of people that made a crap load of money selling tunes and cars, paint jobs. It's not there anymore. But, however, there is a marketplace that's there. And we don't know what's coming yet. Turn 10 hasn't said anything, so I'm hoping a lot of these features and abilities return when they open the marketplace. Also, what's dope is the way Turn 10 supports the community. People were complaining, you know, there's microtransactions in the game. People were complaining that some of the cars are way too expensive, even in-game money and real-world money. So on one occasion they had like a Black Friday sale, everything was 50% off, and then they turned around and gave people 7 million. So you get these incremental rewards. The more you race, you know, the more money you get. And then they even changed the complete economy in the game, where when you level up you get like 35 to 70 grand depending on your affinities, and you know, you get a little more money per race. So money is definitely flowing again. It's a lot less of the grind, but my concern with this is, if you make the grind a lot less, will those 200 cars be enough if everyone can just buy cars? You know, buy. Now that's interesting. So as a whole, I'm gonna give Forza a 5 out of 5, even with its downsides. I mean, it's not a perfect game. There's still some more to come, and I'm a firm believer that they built this as a platform that they'll be able to really add features later on. So I'm looking forward to that. But what I'm seeing so far from them, I'm very impressed. Especially as a launch title, it's very solid gameplay, very solid online. Tuning is as good as ever. You know, it hits so much in a good note that it deserves a 5. But like I said earlier, this is the short review. If you really want that in-depth review, here's the annotation. The link is in the description below. Head on over there, check it out. Let me know. You guys on Forza, you can send me an invite. Uncle Riz's my game tag. There's a ton of gameplay videos over at the Ignorant Gamers channel, depending on where you see this, right? Because it will be on Lifestyles too. So hey man, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out the video. It's your boy Ramon. I'm out of here. Peace.